all, I welcome you for the Google Classroom to learn about operating system in e-learning method. I hope you are active and present now. Today we are going to see about swap space management and RAID. Swap space management. Swap space management is a low-level task of operating system. The virtual memory uses disk space as an extension of main memory. Since disk access is much lower than the main memory access, so the swap space in disk will decreases our system performance. The main goal of our swap space management is to provide best throughput for virtual memory. So the virtual space use will be used in various ways by different OS, that is different operating systems, depending on the memory management algorithm in use. System that implements swapping may use swap space to hold an entire process image, that is code and data segment will be available in our swap space. So the amount of swap space needed on a system can vary from a few megabits of disk space to gigabytes. So from few megabytes of disk to gigabytes, we need a swap space management. That is, we need a space like that. Okay. So depending on the amount of physical memory, the amount of virtual memory it is backing up our data, and the way in which the virtual memory is used. So based on that, the space will be changed from megabytes to gigabytes. So in SolarSys, swap space management is equal to the amount by which the virtual memory exceeds pageable physical memory. But in old Linux, the space needed a double amount of physical memory. Today, now Linux system, we are using a less swap space. So swap space location. So swap space location placed in two places. One will be in a normal file system, another will be in a disk partition. So we can placed in our normal swap space will be placed in our normal file system or in a separate disk partition. Okay. So the we have in a normal file systems, the file routines can be used to create it. So used to create it, name it, and allocate its space. It will be easy to implement, but it is inefficient to use. So in a disk partition, navigating directory structure and disk allocation data structures tasks takes time and extra disk access. So it will create an external fragmentation. So due to this external fragmentation, we have the swapping time will takes more. So it will increase our seek times as well as our swapping time. So how to improve the performance? So by catching the block location information in a physical memory and by using special tools to allocate the physically contiguous blocks for the swap file. So the raw partition will be used for this method. That is, swap space can be created in a separate raw partition. The separate swap space storage manager is used to allocate and deallocate the blocks. So this manager uses algorithm to increase speed rather than storage efficiency. So here we are consider only to increase our speed, since we have many will be frequently used. Swap space will be used frequently. We are considering only the speed here instead of the storage efficiency here. So there will be an internal fragmentation equal. It will be acceptable because the lifetime of our swap space will be very less. So when the particular data will be used, when the particular data will be needed, we are using the swap space. So it will not be in a longer time. So it will be in a very short time. So there is any internal fragmentation also. We can accept that internal fragmentation. It will not create any other problems. Okay. So compared to a file, because if we are using a file, it will be in a long last time. The lifetime of the file will be very long. So compared to that, swap space management, swap space will take only few in a few seconds or few times, and up to the particular data get processed, we are using that particular amount of memory. So here the interfragmentation will not create any problem here. Okay. So it creates a fixed amount of swap space during a disk partition itself. So Linux Hackers allows one or more swap areas to be established. So swap area may be we can used in a file system or dedicated swap partition we can use here. Okay. So each swap area consists of series of 4 KB slots. So here we have a swap partition, that is a file we have, and then we have a swap partition or swap file. Here we have a swap map. So each swap area we can have consist of series of 4 KB page slots here. Here page slots. If these page slots is used to hold the swapped pages. So what are the pages we are needed? So those swapped pages we are placed in a page slot. Okay. So swap area is associated with this swap area. Swap area is associated with our swap map. Okay. So what is meant by swap map? It is nothing but array of integer counter corresponding to a page slot in the swap area. So we have only integer counter here. So corresponding it will corresponding to our page slot. Okay, it will indicate our indicated by a page slot. If the counter, if we have counter value like 1, 0, 3, 0 and 1, what it will represent? So if the counter value is equal to 0, then the corresponding page slot is available. So for 0 we can have different colors, right? So if it is 0, we can say that the corresponding page slot is available. So no problem here. See, if the value is greater than 0, that is it will be 1, either 1 or it will be 3. So if it is greater than the 1, then page slot is occupied by a swapped page. So particular page will be available in our swap space. If 0, the particular page will not be available here. The corresponding slot will be available in particular page. It's a main memory itself. If the particular if the counter value is greater than 1, the particular page slot will be available in our swap page. Next, we can going to see about the RAID. So RAID structures. Okay, disk drivers will be smaller and cheaper. So many disks can be attached to our computer systems. So the redundant informations can be stored on a multiple disks to avoid loss of data during disk failures. So a variety of disk organization techniques collectively called redundant array of independent disks, which we can call it as a RAID. So RAID is nothing but redundant, A for arrays, and then I for independent, and then D for disk, that is redundant arrays of independent disk. So we can this will be commonly used to address the performance and reliability of issues. Okay, so this RAID method will be commonly used to address our performance and reliability issues. So RAID will be is used to why we are using this RAID? We need to improve our it will produce a higher reliability, higher data transfer rate, will be inexpensive and also independent. As the name itself in the I represent here, it will represent the independent. Okay, inexpensive and independent. So that's why here we are saying that redundant array of inexpensive disk. Okay, so multiple disk drives provides reliability through through a redundancy. Okay, then the data transfer rate also here will be high. Okay, so it will increases the mean time failure. So how it will be increase the mean time failure? If there is any disk, any one of the disk gets failure, then the particular disk we can recover using the copy of the other disk. That is, we have a redundant data, so the same data will be occupied in the other disk also. For example, if we say disk number 1 is had data, that data is also redundant in disk number 2. So if the disk number 1 get failure, so we can use that data disk number 2 data. Okay, so that will increase the mean time failure will be increased. So increase the mean time failure, that we can say. So the mean time repair will be exposure time when another failure could cause a data loss. So if in mean time failure, if there is any one disk failure, we can retrieve the data from the other. We can retrieve the data from the other disk. If the whole data will be lost. Okay. So due to any if the mean time repair will be really exposure, how much time taken to recover that particular data to overcome data, we can say it as mean time repair. And then mean time to data loss will be based on the above factors, that is due to any power failures or any other natural circumference, there may be data lost. So this can be overcome by mirrored disk. Okay, if mirror disk fail, independently, consider that the disk with this mean time to failure with 10 hours. So how am I to repair? Okay, so if we are getting any one disk failure, that can be recovered with the other one, which will be available. For all the disk get failure, in that time what we can do, that is, if you are if you are doing mirroring, so same data we are mirroring at a time. So disk 1 is mirrored with disk 2. So mirroring nothing but, so same data will be copied on the other disk at the same time. So for two disks or if two disk for all the disk, for two disk in mirroring, for same disk 1 and disk 2 are copying the data at the same time, at the half of the we are copied at least only half of the data. So in the time that is a power shutdown, so all the data get be deleted. So for that we are using a NVRAM, that is non-volatile RAM. We are using here to save the data. So if there is any power shutdown, so at the middle of the data, so we can and also we can, one method is to be using a NVRAM, another method is we are copying the one data one disk first, and then we are mirroring that particular data, that is we are copying the same data to the another disk, or once the particular one disk will get completed. So that will be one method. Second method will be NVRAM, that is non-volatile RAM. So we are copying the data in the non-volatile RAM, so that we are if there is any power shutdown also, we can recover that particular data. Okay, so it will improve our write performance also. So the improvement in disk use techniques involves a use of multiple disk working. We can working cooperatively. So disk striping. So what is my disk striping? So uses a group of disk as a one storage unit, we can call it as disk striping, that is splitting the bits of each byte across multiple disks. So we have 1 byte, right? For 1 byte we have 8 bits of data. So each one bit of data will be stored in each disk. That is, for example, disk 1 to disk 8. So 1 byte is we can convert it to 8 bits, right? So each byte, so for example, bit 1 will be stored in the disk number 1. Bit 2 will be stored in disk number 2. Bit 3 will be stored in disk number 3. So likewise, we are splitting the particular byte of data and storing it into the each disk. So this we can say it is bit level stripping. So we have a block level stripping, that is it will be commonly used. The blocks of files are stripped across multiple. So file is divided into each blocks. So those blocks of data are stripped against the disk. So if I have a block 1, block 2, block 3, so block 1 will store in first and second, third. So like this we are using. So that we can call it as block level stripping. Okay. So the example for guys, so we have a n disk in block number 1. So file goes to the disk with by calculating one mod. We have I block and then n disk. Then the file goes to the disk with I mod n plus 1. So using this formula, we can place a particular block in a disk. Okay. So mirroring. So and then parallelism in a disk system will be achieved through our stripping. We can achieve parallelism here. So we can two goals here. We are increasing our throughput of multiple small access by load balancing, and then reduce the response time of large accesses here. Okay. So mirroring or shadowing in RAID level 1 we are using mirroring or shadowing, that is each and every data on each disk will be copied on another disk. So if we have a data 1, disk 1, 2, 3, and we have data in disk 1, 2, 3, those same data will be copied on disk 4, 5, 6. So we have a same redundant copy, that is we have a mirroring, we can say it as mirroring or shadowing. So that is duplicate of each disk here. Okay. And then RAID 1 plus 0 or 0 plus 1 will be using in stripped mirrors. Okay. Or we can say stripped mirrors or mirror stripped we are using. It will give a high performance and high reliability. And then block level interleaved parity we are using that RAID number 4, RAID number 5 and RAID number 6 uses this block level interleaved parity with small changes. So it uses much less redundancy